Just got done pulling my orders. We're shipping this thing off first. I pictured this yesterday. I listed it yesterday. And it sold within about 25 minutes of me listing it. Crazy. I was even kind of hesitant about even listing it, you know. I thought, who's going to want to buy this? It's all scratched up and beat up or whatever. But then I took some really good pictures of it, disclosed everything. And like I said, it sold quickly. So I Frankenboxed a priority box here. I'm going to throw some paper in here, keep it from jiggling around. Okay, so we just got done Frankenboxing two 12 by 12 by 9s. Turned out to be a 19 by 12 by 7. So that was that. That one's headed somewhere to Minnesota. Up next is going to be some vinyl that I'll show you guys how I do my vinyl. So, first thing I'll do is I will throw it in a 14 and a half by 19 to protect it. So that's one poly. Then I will get a 13 by 13 cardboard piece, put it on one side. Another 13 by 13 cardboard piece, put that on the other side. Okay, and then usually I would use masking tape, but I run out of masking tape. I need to make a supplies run. So instead of masking tape, I'm going to go ahead and just use a little bit of eBay tape. Tape down that side. Okay, so I've put a hinge on the bottom, basically. Next, I'm going to put a little lip on the tape like this. Kind of like that, like if you're trying to find the end of your tape. And look like that, and like that. I'll do the same thing for this piece of tape. Fold it over, and there you go. Make sure to put the folded over part on the same side as your other folded over side. I'll show you why. So that when your customer receives this, and I'll put one more right here, but when your customer receives this, they don't have to try and peel for the edges. They just grab a hold of the tab and pull, 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 and then it'll hinge open, and then there's their record. Right? So, like I said, one more tab. Like this, and there you go. 3 tabs and a hinge. Go ahead and throw our quick thank you card right there in the middle. Tape it on there so it's not going anywhere. You know, what's important to me might not even be important to the next guy too, though, you know, so. Nostalgia is something that makes you feel a certain kind of way. It gives you that funny feeling that when you touch it, see it, smell it, sit in it. I've got a 1986 Vero GT that, man, just sitting in it, it's like a time capsule. It's awesome. All right, up next is this. This is gonna be kind of heavy. I'm going to put this in an 8 by 6 by 6 box. Go ahead and make this up real quick. Oh, treat everybody like you would your mom and dad, aunt and uncle, grandma and grandpa, anyone that's family. Do that, and you're never going to go wrong. Well, as long as you like your family. I guess I should say. Alright, so there we go. She's taped up. Next, we're going to work on this. We're going to use big bubbles and then small bubbles, because I don't want this to get broken. That's a nice piece. So I'll go over here. I'm going to grab off about 24 inches of bubbles. They come in 12-inch sections, 12 by 12. And if that's not enough, then we'll add some more. I think I'm going to put a little bit of paper. Actually, no. Yeah, paper. A little bit of paper. some kind of inner string, like that. And then I'll fold this down like that. So that's gonna be our base right there. Now I'll go ahead and wrap her up like so. A little bit of tape. Like that. Fold the bottom on under itself. Hopefully she slides in the box all right. It slides in the box all right. Like that. Just like this. And like that. Okay. Next, I'm gonna use some big bubbles. I think I'm gonna use green bubbles because they're sitting here. Like another 24 inches of bubbles. There. Now the green bubbles are something that I've probably ordered something and they were in there and I'm going to reuse them. So I do use some recycled stuff and I also use brand new stuff. But I just can't see not recycling stuff. It just doesn't make any sense not to. You have to do that. It's like almost like our duty. Right? Okay, so it's going to fit in there nicely. There's going to be lots of room in there, which means I'm going to have lots of room to put some additional paper for protection. So, let's get some paper. Slipping down, get some paper. Fix that. That was bugging me in the other video. Alright, I got some paper. Okay, we want it to kind of float. Like a pillow. Okay, our handle, I want it to be up. Maybe off to the side. Yeah, over, like that, off to the side. Okay, and then I want to make sure there's lots of paper around that section, right? Because we don't want anything coming close to the handle. Tall. No. Ow. That's a lot of paper. But at least I know it's going to be safe. Alright. Use that. And that's about right there. Okay, that'll be enough to get me through today. For sure. For a long time, I would actually buy thank you cards, but I still had to handwrite the stuff, right? It looked nicer, I'm sure, you know, getting a nice handwritten thank you card that it has gold foil envelopes and the whole shebang. But I was like, you know what? People don't care. All they care about is, wow, I got a thank you. Someone said thanks. They're shocked at that, you know? So it doesn't take much to please somebody is what I found. Just a gesture of thanks. But yeah, I mean, if you have thank you cards that have your store information on them, for a long time I included these 4x6 cards that had my store name on there, had the YouTube channel on there, had QR codes that they could just scan and it would take you to the store or to my YouTube channel. And then on the back of those, I would still write, thank you for your business and blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, there's multiple ways you can do it. I used to order those through overnightprints.com, which is pretty cool. It's a website that I've used for all my businesses in the past. limousine companies and party bus companies and whatnot. All right, so that's that. Bunch of simple pieces of paper. You know, that's more than enough to get through today. So go ahead and grab one. Grab our little, this was a calligraphy pen. It's like a marker kind of, but it's kind of worn out. So it doesn't have a nice crisp edge. That's okay. No worries. This is going to Barb. All right, Barb, here you go.
Today's date is the 9th to 9/2023.
You know, I was telling my mom yesterday, I was like, you know what? We are living in the future. Literally. Literally. When I was a kid, I remember watching the Jetsons, and they had, you know, devices they could look down into, and they could see each other and whatever. And then I think like in Demolition Man, and there's all these different things back in the 80s and 90s about what it was going to be like in 2022, 2023. And yeah, here we are. It's not all true. We're not all flying in cars and blah blah blah, but it is something. That's for sure. And then I also express the fact that's how awesome it is. You know, that the fact that we can do what we do. We don't have to go to a traditional 9 to 5 if we choose to try and do something else. Because the opportunities are out there now. I mean, there has always been opportunities, you know, I suppose, throughout life, but it just seems like there's more opportunity now than ever for someone with some ambition. You know, of course, there's a lot of people complaining about this, that, and whatever because there's not enough, but I don't know. You know, I understand circumstances, but some of it's circumstances and some of it's choice, and life is a choice. So if the circumstances that you're in are not working out for you, if possible, try and get away from them. And if not, try and figure out how to make the best of it, or solve the problem so that the situation can get better for you and everybody involved. I don't know, but sitting and complaining is definitely never the answer. Where'd that come from? I have no idea. These are just random things I reckon. Okay, so this says 8 by 6 by 6, right? But that's actually the internal size of this box. So I'm gonna call it probably a 9 by 7 by 7. Let me double check it here. There it is. She goes over by about a 1/4 of an inch there, 1/4 of an inch there, and 1/2 an inch there. So it goes over all around. So like I said, I'm gonna call it a 9 by 7 by 7. And I wasn't sure what box I was going to put it in initially, so I had it up there as a 7 by 7 by 7. Pretty close. 1 pound 10 ounces is what it was up there for. Let's check it out. Oh no, 2 pounds 4 ounces. Oofda. Ooh, that's not good. 2 pounds 4 ounces. Okay, well, we're at 1 pound 10 ounces here. 2 pounds 4 ounces, because we had to round up. Tab, tab, tab. $7.97. Not a big deal. Whew, close one. And only because it's only going to Mankato, which is in Minnesota. A lot of Minnesotans buying. That's awesome. Well, I appreciate it then, you know. It's going priority. Boom, boom, boom. It's $7.97. She paid $7.80. No big deal. So there you go. Up next is going to be a vintage model. We'll do the model next. All right. I might need some more coffee though, because it feels like I might be slowing down here. Not true, but I can always use more coffee, right? It's only 1:41. that's that. Yeah, we'll do this next. Sounds like I already kind of secured everything in. Let's take a look. No, I take that back. I didn't do anything with that. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. Still have the tires and the old original bag. It's all pretty much just the way it should be. You know, there's not much more I can do to it. It's all pretty secure. It's own little bag, so let's close it up and see how it sounds when I shake it. Oh yeah, it's for a model, that's pretty tight. Okay, so then we'll go ahead and grab gonna be a 15 by 11, I suppose. So we'll put this in a 15 by 11. Should just barely fit. Let's see. There we go. Barely fits, but it fits. Alright, that's that. Oh, looks good. Throw a thank you card in there real quick too while we're at it. Go ahead and slide that right to the front. Boom, right there. That's that. The long piece that goes around it. We dropped up there, huh? Alright. So that's that and that's that. Corners are wrapped up. Gonna float right there. Some paper on this side. Some paper on this side. And there you go. Put one more little piece of paper across the top. Yeah, boom. Boom. That. Gonna give it just a little tiny piece of tape. We're gonna go ahead and put a tab on it so that's easy for them to take it off. Like that. That'll at least hold it together a little bit. Press that together, and that's gonna be good. Put a little piece of tape on here to hold everything down. Keep it in place. So you can go back and get yourself a bigger piece of tape. I like to put a little piece of tape on each side. Now, everybody does it different. Keep that in mind. And then we'll go back with our big piece of tape. Right there. Follow it with this kind. That, boom. Do the last one. And we'll be done. Now this comes in at 12 by 12 by 9 and should be just under 2 pounds. Very rarely do I go over. I've shipped out, gosh, 75 models at least, maybe 100 so far. So I kind of got it down to a science, and it's good to go. So let's go ahead and throw it on the scale. 2 pounds, 0.1. So I got to round it up to 2.1. Ain't that something? That's just one little tiny piece of paper extra in there. And is it going to bump it up? Let's see. If it does, I'm going to take it apart and take that out somehow. Which I know sounds crazy, but yeah, I'm not trying to pay an extra $4 for a ½ ounce. So if that's the case, it was just that last little bit that I put on the top. $4 extra. Is it worth 2 minutes? I don't know. Some people would say no, some people would say yes. Depends on the day and the time. And today, to me, it's worth it. So we're just gonna go ahead and go like this. Open it back up. That's the only bad thing about taping everything up so good is you have to open it back up. So this right here, this top piece of paper, I bet you is all the difference. Oh yeah, that's the difference right there. Okay, and it'll be just fine without that. Definitely. Definitely. Yep. We're gonna be good. So, let me tape this back up. Okay. Boom, done. Let's see. There you go, 2 pounds. Got a little bit crazy with the paper, and that paper does have some weight to it. $9.94 just what the guy paid. Now we're good. I wasn't about to pay an extra $4. I sold it for 32 bucks. I paid 10 bucks for him. So, I mean, that extra $4 is an extra $4 off of that 32, you know, because 32 minus fees and blah, blah, blah. Yep. So that's that. Done. Once this prints, we'll go ahead and move on to the next thing, which is some feathers. We'll do the feathers next. Got those down to a science as well. About 6 months, or oh gosh, I don't know, might even be a year ago now. Hard to say. Time goes by so fast, but I did this big buy. I bought a whole wall of toys, and it was a wall of stuff. A wall of stuff. This guy was going out of business. He had all the stuff. Made me a deal I couldn't refuse. $225 for all the stuff. Bought it. Came home. Spent the next couple months, or not even a couple months, probably a month, getting it picture listed and videos made about it. There's nine videos, 9 boxes that I opened up of stuff. You can go back and look, take a look. Maybe I'll figure out how to put the links in here or something. But either way, I got all this stuff, right? So within all that stuff was these 2 boxes. And these boxes were flat, and they were kind of a weird shaped box. Just a weird shaped box. And so I didn't think nothing of it. And so, get everything home, blah, 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 because everything happened so fast, I didn't even have a chance to look at everything. I just agreed. His employees boxed all up, and when I got home, it was like, woohoo, look at this, look at that. So that being the case, we open up this one box, and it's flat, and inside of it is thousands of pheasant feathers, ringtail pheasant feathers, which are these. And I was like, what are we going to do with these things? So they sat there probably for a few months before we figured it out how we were going to do it, or what we were going to do with them, if there was a market, or, you know, it's just like, it was a weird thing, something we had never even thought of trying to sell. But then my wife said, let's just figure it out. So she figured it out, we figured it out, and lotted them up, lots of tinned, and then it was up to me to figure out how to ship them. So I've tried different ways, and this is the way I've come up with. A 12 by whatever poly, roll it up, you saw me do that, then use another smaller one, roll up, that protects it, right, from the elements. Now to keep it from getting bent, I used to use cardboard when I first started, the first couple sets, and it wasn't quite strong enough. So then I moved on to this poster board with the foam filling in the middle. Okay, now that's not even going to be strong enough. I'm going to use some cardboard over this. Now I could stack up another one of these black pieces like this, you know, and do that, but that's not going to be cost effective. I can use scrap, leftover cardboard, be more cost effective, save the planet, do my part, and it's all good, right? So here we go. So we'll use this. We'll use this part up on the top. I'll trim it down so it's the exact same width as this, which is going to be about 5 inches. And then we'll keep on moving. I bet you I've sold, oh man, I don't know, 25, maybe 30 sets of these, of 10 so far. Maybe more. I don't know. Hard to say. It's been a lot. But I'm glad to see that they're going to good use. They're not being wasted. I did not harvest these animals. I don't believe in wasting things, you know, especially something as beautiful as this. So I'm glad that I was able to figure it out. And I've actually had customers send me pictures of what they do with them. I always wonder, what do people do with these things? And this one person sent me a picture, and it was a photography company, a photography place. Their order had gotten lost. It was like supposed to be there, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, and it never showed. And they asked me what was going on with it, and I said, you know, I don't know, but let me look into it. So, let me grab this real quick. So I said, let me look into it. So I looked into it, and yeah, it was jammed up, boy. I don't know where. It was jammed up at some post office somewhere. And I was like, oh, okay, well, if that's the case, let me go ahead and just send you out some more feathers. And I'll do it on my dime. You know, even though it's not on me to do it on my dime, I'm going to do it on my dime. Because in my description, one of the things it says is old-fashioned customer service. Something's not right, we make it right. You know? And that's true. I do the best I can. I definitely do. Do I get it right every time? No, I don't. But I sure do try. So I sent off the person's feathers, and they received them. And they were so happy. They said that they hadn't received their other ones yet, but they were glad that I sent them. And yeah, they had them in a centerpiece in a real nice vase, and they were happy. So the moral of the story is, oh, sounds like the missus is upstairs doing some vacuuming. That's cool. It's because we're just regular folk doing regular stuff. Oops. Okay, one more piece of cardboard right here. Could I tape this on here? Sure could. Would it make it easier? Probably. But that's just not how I do it. Now, generally I would have taped those two pieces of cardboard together, but because I was talking, my brain didn't think that way at that moment. So, to me, having the saran wrap on here like this just is one more layer of protection. It just shows that we care about our products. And there you go. Now that it has some rigidity to it, it's going to make it there safe. I feel great that it's going to be there just fine. that's that. These little pieces of cardboard we'll throw back in our cardboard recycling laundry basket. That's what I use that for. We're gonna go ahead and throw a thank you card in there. Write it out real quick since we have the time. Let's pop it up and see where we're at here. It's only 2 o'clock. Post office just opened back up 3 minutes ago. If you made it this far, boy, I really appreciate your time. This is going to be a little bit longer video than it was yesterday, but you know, I consider these videos kind of like work-along videos. I'm standing here talking, you're working, we're all just kind of working. I'm the guy in the next cubicle over if we were at that kind of a place, but thank God we're not. But yeah, so just consider me a co-worker that's working right alongside with you that just won't shut up. How about that? Is that fair? All right. Looks like our numbers are down. We are down 12.7% for the last 31 days. We are currently at 4,997, of which $944 is the last 7 days. So last 7 days we've done just shy of $1,000. Today we've done $103 so far, and it is 2:05 in the afternoon. Our 90-day total is $13,799.87. Is that anyone's business? I don't know. But I tell you that so that you know that it's possible to make a living doing this. Am I driving a Lambo? Not even close. But gosh, I am happy every single day. I wake up, get to live my life the way I want to live it, do what I want to do. And yeah, so I don't know what to say sometimes, which is hard to believe because I always have something to say about something. Is that supposed to be there? I just looked up and saw a little something there. All right, this person's name is come on now, Dan the man. Hey, that sounded like this is how we do. Dan in New Jersey. Ready? Here we go. Go back here. Ready? Date is the 9th. Boom. Just throw a little cheese on it like that. Call that good, like that. And then we're going to use I should be able to jam this in a 19. What do we think? Oops, that's not it. That's a 12. Here's a 19er. See, I wish these were thinner though, like skinnier. Just short. That's lame-ola. Lame-ola. I hate to use two, man. I could cut it, but that's a whole lot of taping and cutting and pasting, and this is not craft time. So, I'm just going to fold it over like that. I'm going to grab a 5x7 like this. I'm going to quit my complaining, jam it in here like this. Bam, done. All right, throw a little bit of tape on that, call it good. Nobody likes complainers. Especially me. All right, ready? That's that. Throw a piece down here on the end. That'll be good. Like that. I'm going nowhere. Put it around like this. And there you go, done, safe. Now, the trick is, you always have to keep this under 22 inches. I learned that the hard way. But now I've got down to a science. This is 20 inches. right? So it's a little bit over, so we're gonna call it 21 just to keep it safe. But 23 changes it into a whole nother dimension for sure. Got that. This will be about 3.4 ounces. Oh, 4 ounces around the knot. Okay, so 4 ounces is what we had up to 4. 21 by 5 by 5. Tap, 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 tap. Should be $3.90, which it is. The gentleman paid $3.90, so we're good to go. Purchase and print, and that's it. Pretty simple. Pretty easy. Looks like you got one left to go. I'm still waiting on a payment on a couple other things. Winnie the Pooh Bear that I sold when I was live the other day. Got the live cha-ching, but it hasn't been paid for yet. Okay, so what am I gonna do in this instance? Let me stop and think about it. Check out the dimensions. 10 by 7 by 6. Okay, now do I want to ship it with the lid on? And if so, how would I do that? Well, I could saran wrap that lid on there so it doesn't go anywhere. That'd be one way to do it. Boxes. What size box should I put it in? Is a 12 by 12 going to be big enough? Should I double box it? Ooh, that's a good idea. Alright, so I'm going to put some white paper down in there like that. So, I mean, for $1, how can you go wrong? Because I've used the expensive stuff and it's not a whole lot different than this. It does the same dang thing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do the whole thing. Might as well. Yes. Alright, one more piece just for good measure right there. That's a pretty solid little football kind of deal. And then I will float this like that inside of this, and that has more than enough room to float around there in some paper. Two awaiting shipment. Okay, we've got this sweatshirt that I'll go grab. And I've got this cast iron pot here that I had it pre-boxed. On the side of the box, I have, it says, where's it say? It's totally pre-boxed. So this is 3-quart cast iron, right? Because it's a 3-quart cast iron with the lid, wooden handle. It's made in Taiwan. $32 was what it went for, plus shipping. That's all good. But then after I pulled the item, I looked at the listing and it says 6-quart saucepan. I'm thinking, man, that's going to be huge. 6-quart, right? Especially cast iron to boot. Anyways, I'm looking around, I'm like, I don't have a 6-quart. So then I opened up this one, got down to the metal here, dug through the bubble wrap, and yeah, this is the 3-quart. And in all the pictures, it's this one, the 3-quart. But in my title and in my description, it says 6-quart, right? So I went ahead and sent the guy a message and said, hey, here's the deal. I was pulling your order. There's a mistake in the title and description. However, the one that is in the picture is the one. It's a 3-quart. How would you like me to proceed? So if he says go ahead and send it, I'll send it. If he says, well, you know, I don't want it because it's not a 6-quart, it's a 3-quart, then I'll do that. You know, whatever, I guess. I don't necessarily want to cancel, but this is one of those instances where I screwed up and, you know, got to do the right thing. So, all right, let's go pull this last order. This is a vintage Sawyer Brown crew neck sweatshirt from the 90s, 1991 to be exact. So let's walk through this mess here. And I keep my, some stuck to my foot. Keep the country western graphic shirts. I think they're in the gray tote. Let's put this up here. Let's see if I can set this right here. It'll look like this, possibly. Do some Tetris action like this. Like this. Yeah, here's the country. So we got Vince Gill. No, that's not it. This is Sawyer Brown, but this is the t-shirt. I've got a cassette in there. Another guy, Brooks. Another Sawyer Brown. This is what I was looking for right here. It's a sweatshirt. So we've got Kid Rock, Brooks and Dunn, more Sawyer Brown, some more Garth Brooks. These are all vintage. Some Reba. Just sold Reba the other day. So yeah, we got a whole bunch of different ones. If you're into vintage, country, and western from the 90s concert t-shirts, you can go check out my store, Trendin' Treasures, on eBay. You'll find a whole bunch of different t-shirts, graphic shirts. I've got like 4 totes full of them. Full of graphic shirts. You can also find this one up there in a size extra large. This one I'm probably going to end up keeping. I don't know. It's a pretty cool shirt. Generally I wouldn't because it's a pretty expensive shirt, but it is super cool. So we shall see. So anyways, there we go. Just gonna let the air out of this a little bit. Like that. And I think I'm gonna throw it in another Ziploc, so it's double Ziplocked. Like that. And then I'll throw that in 13 by 10, or yeah, 13 by 10. If it'll fit, which it should. There you go. And since we have time, we'll go right out that thank you card. That's only $2.35. And then that'll be it for today, anyway. We'll wait on that decision on that other one, and we can take some pictures. This is going to Brandy. There you go. And this went for $29.99 plus shipping. Confetti. To $32.31. Out of the other tapes, I'll just use this tape. Yeah, I'm really not a fan of the clear tape, but ran out of eBay tape, so do what you can with what you got right now. Alright. Alright, that's that. That's that. That's that. Gonna throw it on our scale. Comes in at 1 pound, 3 ounces. Let's see what we had it up there for. £1 8 ounces. 3 ounces. Tab. Let's go 6. That's that. 882. And Actually, this was free shipping. Forgot about that. That's okay. Now this came in part of a buy where I bought like 39 shirts at one sale for $33 plus some corn. I think this was one of them as well, but most of them were country western shirts. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. All right, beauty. We're done with this part of the day anyway. Now it's on to taking some pictures. And then, well, no, first I'll go to the post office. Then I'll take some pictures. Probably have lunch. Then take some pictures. And then sit down, list some stuff, and then edit this all together. And then it'll be supper time. So, if you made it this far, man, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your comments. I just appreciate you. So, thanks for being here. Once again, my name's Todd, the Nostalgia Picker. That's what I do. If you had a good time, do that. Do that other thing. And I'll see you in the next one.